According to some YouTubers, you might kill your PlayStation 5 when you use it in the vertical position, as I'm doing it since the day of the release, and so far no problem at all. But that doesn't mean that there is no problem with the liquid metal cooling, what we're talking today in this video, because I watched all the videos, I listened to all the concerns and the different opinions, and I do have to agree, there is a problem. Hello my friends and welcome back to my channel. My name is Markus and today we're talking about the design issue on the PlayStation 5. I'm not even quite sure if I like to call it design issue, because for me a design issue is something when you can't use a certain function because of the design, but that's not the case here. Okay, so you can use your PlayStation like that and it will work most likely in most of the cases for a long time. Okay, let's say it like this. But I think we're talking about a quality issue in combination with the design, because it really looks like that this just happens when you use the PlayStation 5 in the vertical position and not in the horizontal position, what I'm probably doing from now on. And for everyone out there who doesn't know what we're talking today, we're talking about the cooling issue on the PlayStation 5. Liquid metal is the headline, because you may or may not know they're using liquid metal on the PlayStation 5 for cooling, not for cooling, it's between or to connect actually the APU, the CPU, GPU combination with the cooler. So usually you use thermal paste between this to actually have a proper connection or to have no air gaps, let's say like this. But Sony in this case is using liquid metal, which is a good thing, because liquid metal actually can gives you a cooler CPU, GPU or APU, as in the case of the PlayStation 5, if it is done correctly. And there we are now with the topic, because it looks like there is something going on. And I like to make this very, very clear. I'm no expert at all when it comes to stuff like that. I'm relying on YouTube videos, on opinions, on comments, pictures, stuff like that. And of course on my own experience with the PlayStation 5. Since the day of the release, I'm using it in the vertical position. There's literally no problem so far. But again, that doesn't mean that there is no problem coming up. And maybe not for me. Maybe I'm just lucky and it will not kill my PlayStation 5 when I'm using it in the vertical position, but maybe for other people. So this video is really just about to talk about the possibilities, what I have seen now on YouTube or different videos, because it can happen. And but I think let's talk first about liquid metal versus thermal paste. And when I heard about this the first time, that Sony is actually using liquid metal on the PlayStation 5, I was a little bit surprised, because I know from my own experience how messy liquid metal can be. And not because I'm using this on my computers. I worked actually with liquid metal for some time and it is absolutely messy. It is very hard to apply, or not. Compared to thermal paste, it's a mess, full stop, okay? So, and the temperature difference, what you gain actually by using liquid metal over normal thermal paste, is not worse for me, okay? So that's just for me, okay? But one of the most, or the biggest problem when you use liquid metal, and that's the problem what is actually killing PlayStation 5, it's not because people may be thinking the liquid metal will just run out from the PlayStation 5 between APU and the cooler, and there's no connection, no proper connection. You have just air, and then the APU, GPU, CPU, whatever, will run hot and will die because of that. Now that's not the reason. Liquid metal is highly conductive, absolutely conductive. That means when this hits something else like a capacitor or whatever, it will have a shortcut. That's how it is, and that's what is killing the PlayStation 5 in those cases. I'm very sure about that, not about anything else, because if it would overheat, I'm very sure PlayStation 5 will just turn off, you know. But in those cases, what I watched, or where I watched the videos on it, the PlayStations are not even starting anymore and stuff like that. So this is a big problem, and that's why I would never recommend to someone who has never done this before, use liquid metal when you buy a new computer, when you build a new computer. It's a pain in the ass, and you can easily mess up so many things because it is highly conductive. So what can we do now to avoid the issue on the PlayStation 5? It looks like the only way to avoid it, if it's not already too late, is using it in the horizontal position. But the videos or pictures, what I have seen is you can clearly see that the liquid metal already moved. Okay, so it's not on the same place as before. That means actually you would need now, or you should use now your PlayStation completely the opposite way, you know, vertical as well, and get the liquid metal to the old place, and then you just use it horizontal. I'm just kidding here, but actually it would work most likely. You get my point. But that's the problem. We don't know what's going on in our PlayStation 5 unless we open it up, and believe me, I'm not doing this. Not because of that. Because what I will do most likely is I will just use it as it is in the vertical position, and I hope for the best, because putting the PlayStation 5 horizontal, that's a bad design in my opinion. But let's be serious for a moment, and yeah, it is an issue. I fully agree with the YouTubers. I fully agree with many comments. It's not a, how should I say, ring of death situation. Not at all. It's a quality issue in terms of the design, but not because of the design. I don't think so, because the design is fine. Okay, the design is really fine. You just need to make sure that the liquid metal is not moving out of the place where it should be, because that's the only thing what is really to consider. But if you like to be on a very safe, or you like to be very safe, then just put it horizontal. Again, I don't like to do this because I don't even know where to put it. Then maybe on top of the computer, maybe here on the shelf. Yeah, maybe I can do this. But then, to be very honest, if I put it over here, there is very less airflow, and it will get very, very hot, the PlayStation 5. So this is something also what you need to consider. Just because now we remove it from the vertical position where it can breathe very easily, in a horizontal position where it is restricted in airflow, maybe this makes things worse over the time. So you don't know. So in my opinion right now, this is something what we need to talk about. Yes, and I'm very sure, hopefully, Sony is seeing all the videos and will react in their upcoming models from the PlayStation 5, you know, PlayStation 5 Slim, Pro, whatever. And maybe there are some changes to it, and maybe they're recommending to put it horizontal, but let's see. Okay, let's see. For me personally, it's not a big problem right now, because it's still working in the PlayStation 5. I would of course talk differently if it would fail, but to be very honest, maybe I will never know why it failed, because I will most likely try to get a warranty replacement, and if I can't get this, I would buy a new PlayStation 5. Okay, so let me know in the comment section, how do you use your PlayStation 5? Vertical, horizontal, or maybe in a complete different position, but please do me the favor, not too much information, okay? Anyway, that's for this video. I say thank you very much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.